Hello and welcome to Points of Interest. I'm one of your hosts, Jake, along with my co-host, James, over here.
Hey, guys.
If you're new to the show, this is Inverted Reality's gaming news podcast. Each week we gather news and stories from around the internet and bring them to you in one nice, easy-to-consume package at your own pace. Release the show Tuesday to Thursday in chunks, and then the whole show is one big video in MP3 on Friday. You can find the show on podcast service of your choice. It is everywhere. And over at youtube.com/invertedreality, if you want to watch the video, we have a cool slideshow, we have a TV, we have our beautiful faces.
It's beautiful.
It's all the things you could ever want out of a podcast
If
video.
you ever wanted a background just to remind you of what you're listening to, that's a good way to do it. That's how people have described it to me. Because then you know what we're listening or what we're talking about, because you can see a picture of said game or discussion topic.
It's true. Most of our topics aren't that long, so
No.
but also as the kind of person that would forget what you're talking about,
Yeah.
it's helpful.
It is helpful.
But
So,
what have you been playing lately, James?
what have I been playing lately? Well, if you guys haven't been tuning in, I've been working my way through Wolfenstein 2, and more importantly, I finished the base game. We talked about that a little while ago. I've started on the DLC. So 2 of these DLCs have come out. They had an episode 0, which is kind of just an intro for each character.
Yep.
And if you don't know, in the game, there are 3 different things that you have a chance of unlocking at one point. It's pretty early in the game. It just changes kind of how you play the game.
It's not early in the game at all.
I guess it's probably halfway through the game. It felt early.
You
but
blasted through it in a couple of days.
I did blast through it pretty quick. But so you unlock different things and that give you different ways to do levels, and these DLCs kind of expand on that. So the first one is the Adventures of Gunslinger Joe. He's like a failed quarterback. He was a quarterback for a while, and then he was going to be turned into the Nazi slave trade and some other stuff. Agent Silent Death is well, if you could think about it, it's a lot of stealth gameplay. And then Captain Wilkins is kind of that mid-range guy that knows how to use a gun and just kind of does it when he wants to. And it's interesting. So I'm started on some of them. I want to quickly get through it because I want to enjoy it, but I also want to get back to Uncharted Lost Legacy. If you don't know what Uncharted Lost Legacy is, it was originally going to be a single-player add-on for Uncharted 4, and they made too much game. So they delayed it a little bit, and they released it as a standalone. I picked it up at Black Friday, haven't had a chance to pick it up yet. I started it Sunday night. I got to play for a couple hours, and it's just getting back into Uncharted. Like, it's just, man, there's just something about the Uncharted world I'm going to miss when it's gone. Like, when I'm done with this, like, I can always go back and replay it, but it's like, there's just something about it.
You don't get to replay it through the first time again.
Yeah, this is kind of the only thing. So it's interesting. It takes place after Uncharted 4. It follows Chloe and Nadine. If you play the first games, you know Chloe. If you played 4, you know Nadine. So it's interesting. So far it's exactly the relationship you would expect from 2 very headstrong women that don't always play by the rules. Tentious. That's that. Tense?
Contentious?
Contentious? Okay.
I think I'd lopped the beginning off a word, but
yeah.
A lot of tension in the
There's a lot of tension. There you go. Yeah, a lot of tension. So
contentious, I think.
So it's cool.
For that.
I'm excited. It's not a super long adventure. It's somewhere like 8 to 10 hours, I think is what they say. So that'll be cool. And then I'll be kind of moving over to Xbox for a little while. We got a lot of stuff on Game Pass.
Over the Xbox world.
You know, we've got Rise of the Tomb Raider. You started that a little bit.
Game Pass is just, it unlocks a whole new world in gaming.
It does. Well, it's nice because a lot of it is albeit older games that we just haven't played. Like, it's got Rise of the Tomb Raider, which we didn't play because we refused to support that kind of exclusivity model. Now we don't have to pay for it, so of course I'll play it. The developer
the
doesn't
system.
help by it. Yeah, we're cheating the system. But it's got like the Gears of War games. It's got the Halo 5, which we got in our bundle, but if we didn't have it, we'd have it there. There's all sorts of games we didn't get to experience that now we can. So that's cool. But what have you been playing?
Yep. So I did play a little bit of Rise of the Tomb Raider. I am a good chunk through it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not quite halfway, maybe a little bit more than halfway. The one thing I will say about it right now is the facial animation in Rise of the Tomb Raider is incredible.
Yeah.
So if you haven't played it yet and you want to see what really good facial animation looks like, check it out. But what I have been playing more of, because it hit me that it was on Games Pass, is Fable. So I played Fable on the original Xbox.
Right.
And it's probably my favorite game ever.
Right. So this one, it says Fable Anniversary. What's
Fable Anniversary is what's on Game Pass.
And that's the remastered
That's the remastered
version
for 360.
For 360. So it's still kind of dated looking, right?
Yep.
Okay.
We were talking a little bit beforehand, but like you can see like their hair texture. So like a beard, like you see like a flat texture molded to their face, and then that really like, like the old grass texture that was like 4 points is what it looked like.
Yeah.
Looks like one of those, like a part of that sticking off just below their chin somewhere where a beard would have come. I don't know. It's weird. But I love it, and
Yeah.
it's maybe just me. Like this is one of the first kind of big RPG open world style games that I ever played.
Yeah.
But I am enjoying the crap out of this game.
Yeah.
Like, playing through it and seeing these things that like every now and then when I'm running through an open world game that's been made recently, I'm like, oh, that reminds me of this level I played somewhere, and then I'm playing through these levels. I'm like, that's what it reminds me of. That's from this. But
That's funny.
I love it.
You dig
I'm so
it?
happy to be playing it again.
Yeah, no,
Like-
that's awesome, man. It's one I'm going to check out. I haven't started my Games Pass yet, but I will. I want to get through Uncharted Lost Legacy. I want to finish the Wolfenstein DLC. And I'm going to jump all in. We got Sea of Thieves coming out here in a couple weeks. It'll be on Games Pass. We've got Rise of the Tomb Raider. We got
Tomb Raider.
all the
three
Gears-
Fable games.
we got all the Gears games. I think 4 just went on there just recently. So we'll have all the Gears games. We'll have all of this stuff to do. It should be awesome.
Fable 4 wasn't made yet.
No, Fable 4 was not. Gears of War 4.
Oh, I was
Gears
like-
4.
We did a story on Fable 4, James.
No Fable 4 yet. So that's exciting. Games Pass definitely seems like a good value, and it
Yeah.
installs it like to your console, right? And you're not like streaming it. Or
You
anything,
download
right?
it. And so
Okay.
I've right now on my console I have Rise of the Tomb Raider and Fable downloaded. So you don't it's not limited to like, oh, you can only have one Games Pass game downloaded at a
Right.
time. It's like, no, you can just have as many as your console can fit, to my understanding,
Mhm.
and you just play them
Like you would any other game.
yeah, say I will, and then you could just delete it.
It's
And
$10 a month.
Yep.
We're on trials right now.
we're on trials.
for
I
it,
did,
but-
I did a trial and it popped up and said if you auto renew, you get another free month. So I'm like, I'll take 2 free months. And if I forget about it, it's $10.
Yeah,
And I might end
exactly.
up keeping it anyways. 'cause
Yeah,
It's
I doubt
really
that
cool.
we'll get through all the games we want to get through in the next 2 or 3 months.
Probably
seems,
not,
Seems
yeah.
unlikely.
yeah.
'Cause
See,
we wanted to get into Far
we'd
Cry.
have to
and
we'd have
stuff.
to grind through.
Did you bring
each-
Far Cry?
I didn't.
Dang it!
I barely went home.
Disappointed. This face. Anyway,
You should have texted me.
no, it's okay. It's fine. I'll
We don't
remember it
talk
later.
all day.
I know.
ever.
We never talk.
We also what night? Friday night.
Yeah.
We played through all of Halo 4.
Yeah. It was both awesome and kind of depressing because we had finished Halo 3, and so we're like, oh, let's start 4. Let's just see where we go. And then we got like 2 hours into the night, and we were like on mission 5. There's only 10, and I'm like, I guess let's just finish it. So it took us 4.5 hours, like with potty breaks.
Yep.
To get through Halo 4, which it was cool. It was a good story. I was actually invested in it. 343 made a lot of good changes that felt good. With the guns still felt like they did before, but you had hit markers and you had a little bit of feedback that you
Little
didn't
more
have
feedback,
before.
yep.
And so there were some improvements. There's a sprint button and stuff. All in all, if I had bought that just for the single player, I'd be super disappointed.
Yeah.
And I know you don't buy the Halo games for the stories anymore. It was multiplayer games and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
so but it was good. We got through them all, so now we get to start on Halo 5 at some point. I don't know. We might take a break from Halo for a little bit and do some other stuff. We just
Take a break from Halo and play Gears.
yeah. Let's say we should go back and do Gears. I gotta get my Game Pass going though, so I gotta push through the PlayStation stuff.
Yeah. You need to
We'll
power
get to
through
Gears.
Uncharted, and then we can play some Gears. 'Cause I
Yeah.
haven't played Gears in
Yeah, buddy.
years.
Dude, boy, Gears got a special place in my heart. It's just disgustingly awesome, like Unreal
I love it.
graphics. That's like Unreal Engine, like right there. That's the bee's knees. That's what I love about that series. It's just unreal.
Yeah. Probably
So-
the heaviest shooter known to mankind.
Oh yeah, and it's third person too, in case it's not heavy enough for you.
I love like sprinting in Gears because it just like goes and it zooms out. Then you're running, but you can't turn.
It takes like the heaviness of a Battlefield shooter and puts it in an Uncharted third person.
Makes it heavier,
It's insane. It's ridiculous, but it's great.
but it's so much fun.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Moving on.
Games coming out. There's games coming out.
There are
Not-
couple of
I
them.
mean, we'll let you decide what they are. So for Tuesday, March 6th,
Mhm.
we're not going to go through what day it is when you're watching it. Try that every week, and it's always a mess. But first up, Bacon Man, an adventure
Yeah,
on the PC.
we looked this up. It's
It's like an 8-bit side scroller.
yeah, 8-bit. It's not quite
No, it's not
8-bit. It's a
8-bit.
little bit better, but it is a 2D side scroller platformer. There's 4 different main characters you can play as. They all have different strengths. One of them was called Lard Lass. Very large individual. It looked interesting. It looked like there might be difficulty like akin to Super Meat Boy kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Not really timer based, but just some ridiculous platforming that takes a lot of practice. So
Yeah.
so that looks interesting. But Bacon Man, an adventure.
Yeah. You don't see a name like Bacon Man and just pass over it. You tell the people about that.
Right.
Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition, PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Yeah, so this one is it's got all the DLC that's come out, and if they're adding any more to it, I think this is the definitive for sure, definitely last probably edition. They're said to be tweaking
Just another edition
the
of
very
game.
last ending. There's supposed to be like something after the ending, like a prologue, like maybe another
'Cause
boss
what other
fight or
game
something.
doesn't have stuff after?
I mean,
the
what
ending?
other game doesn't continue to change their story even 2
Don't
and 3
end
years
the
later?
game. Just
This one's supposed to also be like the full edition on PC with better resolution and graphics and stuff.
yeah.
So if you've been holding out on Final Fantasy 15 and you really want it, then get this one. If not, if there's a good reason you're holding out, then maybe keep holding out.
Yeah.
It's still the same game.
Life is Strange Before the Storm, PS4 and Xbox One. So this is the whole
Box.
kit and caboodle.
Yeah, this is the physical version. The last bonus episode came out last week. So this is just the physical release for the consoles. So if you are interested in picking all those up at once and having a disc for it because you like to do that, then great. It's all there. It takes place 3 years before Life is Strange, and it is the last time we will see these characters. So Life is Strange 2 takes place totally separate from the first stuff. So
Yep.
So this one was the prequel. So that's exciting.
Yep.
If you like it.
Next up, Scribblenauts Showdown, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch.
I saw some stuff come across for it. It looks like I have no idea.
Yep. I played a
Honestly,
Scribblenauts game on my phone.
Yeah, I don't.
it was like,
I don't know much about it.
Make
I'll be honest.
like you type in something
Mhm.
to like complete a puzzle. So basically, it's like, oh yeah, I need a bridge for this, or I could have a giant pencil.
Yeah, so
It's
I don't
just a
know.
game like if
that's
I
what
don't
you
know if
want.
this is what the Scribblenauts is like, but it's just let your imagination run wild and what crazy things can you put
Right.
into the world.
Right.
Some things you can't do, which is disappointing.
Yeah.
Thursday, March 8th, Warhammer Vermintide 2 PC.
Yeah, I've been seeing people playing in the beta for this. It's like a first-person hack and slash kind of thing, maybe RPG elements. It looks difficult.
Yep.
It's in the Warhammer universe, which is a very Dungeons and Dragons type universe. There's just a lot of like weird like background stuff for like those like dedicated PC gamers, like
Yeah.
really dedicated, like they really want to do it. They're like super nerdy. The guys that like wouldn't play Baldur's Gate because it was too mainstream, like those kind of gamers. So that's Warhammer.
They live on the Steam like
I've tried playing a
Discover
little bit
page.
because they'll have Warhammer stuff a little bit here and there on consoles, and I think they had the Space Marine stuff. And it was like it's just kind of weird. It just didn't really translate. It's PC series. It's PC genre. That's just what it is. So I know that Warhammer Vermintide 2 is in beta on Xbox. I think it's coming to Xbox at some point. I don't know when,
Yeah.
but I know that people have been playing it on Xbox because I saw it. The first one was on Xbox.
You say Vermintide was
So
a game.
I'm sure
sold
it's coming to
last
Xbox
month.
at some point. Yeah, just this week is PC. So
Yeah.
if you play Warhammer Vermintide 2 or any other Warhammer things, and I have brutally offended you, let me know. But I doubt that I have. So, just saying.
Just a hunch that you're probably not watching or you don't care that much.
I would be curious though if there's anyone in the Warhammer universe. It always sounded cool to me, but every time I tried to get into it, I was like, this is just lame.
Yeah. I feel like it's one of those games we would need to get into
It
together.
felt like it was one of those like every time I would read something about it, it felt like it was just copying another franchise or just like borrowing cliches or just not really like it always felt like a StarCraft vibe to me or like a Warcraft vibe, not like World of Warcraft, but like Warcraft, like the original like RTS stuff. That's what it kind of felt weird. Like I don't know, maybe it was just
Similar
similar
to what it
assets or
looks like.
something. But that's enough about Warhammer. That's for sure.
Too much war hammering. But moving on
And you said it, not
to the
me.
topic. I was going to say the topic of the day. It's not really the topic of the day. It is an topic of the day.
And topic, the first topic today.
The first chiller. ESRB will be adding warning labels to games with microtransactions. It has happened.
That fixes everything.
Yes. Everything's done. There's the ESRB logo back here.
Yep.
I realize now that don't worry about it.
It's all right.
The move is part of the I thought it was
Roll
wrong.
it back.
The move is part of Fresh Push there's a typo in here. Part of a Fresh Push by the ESRB, the
There we
board
go.
which gives age ratings to games in the US, Canada, and Mexico to better educate parents on ways children can spend money within games. So we have talked about this ad nauseum at this point. I feel like
It does make me want to
And-
throw up. That's true.
But in fairness, this is the thing that we've all said. Like, just throw a warning on the front of the game and call it good.
Yeah.
And
It's
just-
at least a start.
It is a step. So all games which offer some way of spending further money will be branded with the label from from those which offer blind loot boxes and flog in-game currency to those which simply offer the ability to buy a season pass or DLC pack. In other words, this will affect most games.
It's interesting that they throw in DLC season pass type stuff because I didn't really expect that. I think what we were hoping for is because what they do in China, for example, is like any games that are sold there with loot boxes, they have to put the odds of winning something, like of what you win and how often you can win it, on the packaging for the game. So like Overwatch has to do that kind of thing because of their loot boxes, and you know, Destiny would obviously have to do that and things like that. That's kind of more what I would like to see, is a much more specific thing catered to.
How that looks. On the front of it
would be interesting. I mean, you obviously have to put it on the back of it. You know, I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
Of a description, is it just like
so I don't know
grids of information of like, hey, here's this loot box. Here's what could be inside it. Here's the chance of getting it. Yeah. Here's this loot box and how much they cost and whatever. And I'm like, I know, it's just like a lot of information.
I know it's a lot, but I think you could do both. I think you could have warning, like, hey, warning, this has in-game purchases, and then it says see back for more details. And then you turn it over and you see that. If it doesn't bother you, you're not going to read the back.
Yeah.
I think that's a good option. But this one, right now, we don't know what it's going to look like yet. I'm assuming it's, you know, you've got your normal like ratings, like your E and your T and your M and stuff. I imagine they will have something like that. It's just like a different
next
symbol.
To it. It's a dollar sign.
dollar sign.
They being ESRB, put out a tweet, or in a tweet, a statement.
That's right.
So it goes as such. You may have noticed that we've been a little quiet on the topic of in-game purchases and loot boxes, but we've been listening. In fact, we've absorbed every tweet, email, Facebook post, and singing telegram sent our way. We've been working. You are really distracting. We've been working to develop a sensible approach to let gamers and parents know when a game offers the option to purchase additional content. Starting soon, ESRB will be assigning a brand new label to physical games, in-game purchases. This label, or as we call it, interactive element, which is weird. It didn't need a different branding. Just call it a label. Will appear on boxes and wherever those games can be downloaded for all games that offer the ability to purchase digital goods or premiums with real-world currency. This includes features like bonus levels, skins, surprise items, such as item packs, loot boxes, mystery awards, music, virtual coins, and other forms of in-game currency, subscriptions, season passes, upgrades, e.g. to disable ads, and more. How much more could there possibly be? We're also launching a new website. I'm not done. parentaltools.org to help raise awareness of the helpful tools that parents can use to manage the amount of time or money those crafty kids spend playing games.
That's what it actually says.
I didn't add that.
That's insane.
This is the first step of many. We'll continue to discuss how to further enhance our rating system with publishers, developers, gamers, and especially parents, and we'll continue to make adjustments as the need arises. Thank you for all your patience with this and your love for the games we rate.
Oh my goodness.
That is
I even looked at that picture before and I didn't realize it had that many words in it. That's, boy, it's going to be on everything. So you know what parents are going to do? They're just going to ignore it.
Like the rating.
If it's going to be like the same exact label, but it says the same things on any of them, I get that it's a step.
I mean, to that point, this is what we've been saying for them to do. Put a label on it. And if they put that label on it and they put the information on the back, it is in the hands of parents now.
That's true.
Yes, they listened. They've heard all of us on all the mouths of the internet going, just put a label on the box. That's all you need to do, and it would sidestep this issue of I didn't know there was loot boxes in the game, because if you put the label on the front of the box, it says, hey, there's ways to spend money inside this game, and parents come complaining like, hey, my kid just spent $1,000 playing Overwatch. They'd be like, that's on you. It's on the box.
Yeah.
Like, look at the box.
It's true.
Now, I don't know what else to do at that point.
It's a good step, I think. I think I'll reserve judgment until I see what it actually looks like.
Yeah.
Because it's like, is it just like an informational little white box like all their stuff is now that everybody ignores because you know they do? Or is it going to have like a little like red bar at the top that says warning contains, you know, in-game purchases? Like, what's that going to look like?
Shells full of red bars.
Well, because I want to like see like because you got to capture your parents' eyes, right? Like that's the idea. We know to look for. That's because we play games all the time. So what is a parent of a teenager now? So say somebody in their late 30s, early 40s, like what is going to catch their eye when looking at the games, right? Because that's what they want to see. Now, does the ESRB really care about shielding kids from this stuff? I don't think so, because that's not where the money's
Someone
at.
at the ESRB does.
So maybe somebody does.
ESRB is not making money from microtransactions.
Well, that's true. But it just at the end of the day, if the video game industry starts to hurt the sales, ESRB is going to be reflected by that in some way, shape, or form. So I'm just curious what it's going to look like. I don't want to say it's going to be good, bad, or indifferent. I hope that it's an actual like warning and not just a really bland message that everybody skips over like they already do. Since it's going to be on everything, I hope it'll be maybe a little bit more tailored to what we see in that specific game.
Yeah. This is the two of us have kind of been the response of the whole internet of like, yeah, it's great. Yeah, it needs to be more. So they have responded to multiple questions about this. So, quote, to most parents, money is money, end quote, the ESRB wrote, replying to the question of why games with exploitative loot boxes would be treated the same as a game which simply offers a way to purchase DLC expansion. Quote, this label and the parentaltools.org give parents the tools to set reasonable boundaries and better manage how their kids interact with games. Still, this is just one step, end quote. So
it sounds like it's going to be a generic label. I think it's just as long as it grabs their eye and it forces them to read it, then it's a step. But I just, like I said, jury is still out. Peggy is the European branch of the not branch of the ESRB, but they do the same thing. You'll see on
British
trailers like
version
Peggy 18 or Peggy 12 or
if you watch
those are the ones I
trailers
realize.
on the internet.
Yeah, I watch trailers on the internet all the time. So Peggy is indeed discussing this. The system's operations director Dirk Bozeman's told this writer, we are already providing an in-game purchase descriptor for some games, those that get a Peggy rating via the IARC system, digital games and apps like on Google Play or in the Nintendo eShop. But in-game purchase offers are also available in games that are sold on discs, so it makes sense that we provide the same type of information across the entire range. So basically, man, we haven't done it yet.
Like, they did something. Now we need to do something.
Yeah, but again, it all says soon.
Darn you, ESRB.
So we still don't know when the ESRB is going to do anything. This could be, next month. This could be next year. Like, what is soon? TM. Like, what's the? Well, I mean, I'm curious to see what the rollout is.
Games that have gone gold already and started shipping, like those are out. I'm sure it's got to be
in the next couple months, right?
Yeah, they're gonna have to set a day. But like, it's gonna start on this day. That all games are gonna have this. Yeah. All new games are gonna have this. They can't really retroactively do.
Well, no, and I don't expect
anything. But
we'll
unless
see.
they like send out stickers to GameStop and Walmart of like, hey, put these on X games.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
I think would be dumb.
It would be dumb because they got the shrink wrap and stuff.
It would be another sticker to go on your game.
Be another thing I ignored and ripped off and threw in the trash. But it is what it is. So we will see. I hope they don't wait too long.
Such is life. We will keep you updated as the story progresses.
Trust me, we will tell you.
Yeah. Just you?
Just me. just cranking mad at it, man. Cranking mad.
Just so cross with you. Next up, it looks like Blizzard's action role-playing game Diablo is coming to Nintendo Switch.
I'm waiting to show you the picture.
So, yeah,
I want you to set it up.
So Blizzard tweeted a video of someone turning a little Diablo light on and off. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to get the tease.
All right, so we can't show you the video, but just take a look at this and just see there's a light switch.
For those of you listening, it's just like a big red like demon skull.
Yeah, it's Diablo. It's Diablo's face. You ever played the game, and it's a light switch, like a night light, right? And it's plugged into an outlet. And it transitioned before I was ready.
Timer's on.
But so there's a little switch on the front of it, and if you toggle that switch, the light goes on and off, and that's what they do in the video. So
it's like 20 seconds just off, on, off.
Yep. So the expectation that we all got from that, and Blizzard apparently had no clue they implied, was that Nintendo Switch would get a port of the wonderful Diablo 3 and all its expansions. That would be awesome. I would love to play Diablo 3
That'd be such a great
Switch.
game on the go.
Oh, it would be so great. Just sitting on the plane and just murdering other creatures.
But a Blizzard spokesman has come out and says, quote, we cannot confirm this rumor. As of now, we do not have any current plans to announce Diablo for the Switch. This tweet was meant to be a fun engagement piece. We do not have any plans to announce Diablo for the Switch. End quote. It's pretty clear cut, but
is it?
Tweet also is like...
What kind of engagement are you expecting when you...
I'm just like, if this isn't some kind of tease, what is the point? Are you starting to sell this weird Diablo nightlight? Is this
Who are you
like
engaging with
Blizzard.store.net? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't understand the deflection there of being like, oh no, we didn't mean it. It's just like an innocent little marketing thing for engagement. Like, no, it's not. You wanted to see if people wanted it on the Switch or not. you're already it's going to be there.
This wasn't like
I would almost guarantee it.
a person that worked at Blizzard tweeted this out. It was
No,
like
this was
Blizzard at Blizzard.
Yeah.
Like they tweeted this, not like a dev for Diablo.
I mean, I would get it. I would get it in a heartbeat. I didn't get to play they added the Necromancer class with like a $15 DLC. I didn't really. I've already put in hundreds of hours. I got the platinum trophy. I couldn't really justify getting the Necromancer DLC because it's $15, and that's all you got. Like you didn't get any more missions and stuff like that.
It'd be the same game with a different
same
person.
game with a different person, and it's just. If it had come out while I was still actively playing the game, done 100%. While I was working through my platinum, because I had to get everybody leveled up to 70, and I had to do a hardcore character as well. So I would have definitely done the Necromancer. Now it's like, I don't know, but if they came out with a new version, boom, I'm there. I'd totally do it on the Switch, get in there and play on my Necromancer, and just, oh boy, there's just something about the Switch and the portability that just really...
It works so well.
It does. It works surprisingly well. So I
wonder how big it would be.
that.
Like Diablo 3 and all its expansional glory come out on the Switch. How big is it? Does it fit on the Switch without a memory card?
I don't know. It's not like an aggressively huge game.
Yeah.
On my PS4, it was same size as everything else. So I would assume that if they've been able to get Doom on there, they can probably find a way.
Yeah, but Doom is also like a linear.
No, it's true.
Like you go through these worlds.
Doom also was like 80 gigs on the PlayStation. So I'm sure that there would be a way to do it. Maybe like 5 or 6 or 7 gig. I don't remember.
I feel like you do. I think it's one of those like 14.
Oh, you could be right.
I don't know.
I don't know. It'd be interesting.
Who knows? If you know, let us know. Put in comments, tweet at us,
That's
at
right.
Games, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff we said in the beginning. We'll remind you a little bit on the video every 5 minutes. Comes out across the bottom. Maybe not on the breakouts because every now and then I forget.
Yeah.
I realize when I upload it and I go to like edit the full video together, I'm like, already rented out all the parts.
Yep, that's how it goes.
That's okay. But moving on, there's a new update for Xbox One rolling out today to those in the Insider program, which adds a form of remote play with PCs.
It's us.
So
it's us. We're
it is
in
a
the
different
program.
form of remote.
Yes,
play.
it is. Not what you would expect.
Not like the remote play that we have on PlayStation, where you like plug your controller in your computer and you can remote play to your console.
No, not like that.
So it works through Mixer, Xbox's baked-in streaming service, and lets you pass control to anyone watching on PC via Mixer.com. So streamers will be able to let viewers control their games via a controller if they have one, or an on-screen gamepad if not. There are some other things, but what do we think of this?
I mean, you can already do like remote play like PlayStation does through the Xbox app. It works.
Xbox Play Anywhere as well.
Yeah, it works okay, the remote play for Xbox. It's not as easy to get into, or mine just consistently can't find the Xbox for some reason, but it works fine when I was doing PlayStation. I do it occasionally, like if I'm upstairs doing something and I want to go in, and I used to do it with Destiny all the time. So Xbox isn't quite as smooth, which is kind of funny because it's software. You'd think Microsoft would be better at that, but they constantly prove you wrong.
It is a Microsoft product.
When you have an Xbox,
a Microsoft product,
they constantly prove you wrong with what you think they can do with their software. But in theory, I think this is really cool because we're not necessarily streamers, but Mixer as a platform is growing pretty quickly, mostly because of the default tab on your Xbox. But it is a really interesting tool. It's got a little bit more interaction, I think, with streams. Twitch has some stuff, but for the most part, it's like you're watching. You can add bots into your Twitch stream to be able to interact with your audience and do like polls and stuff. But there's a lot of games that support Mixer features that grant special things in the games themselves. That give you stuff to vote on in game. Mixer just has a few more options. It's very easy to use. So it's cool. It's an actual alternative to Twitch that isn't trying to destroy Twitch. It's just trying to do its own thing. And so it's good for the streaming community. And I think with this, it's a level of connection with your fan base that I don't think Twitch gives you. Well, I know Twitch doesn't give it to you, but it's cool because you could do it as like your subscribers. So people that subscribe to you on Mixer, you could put them into a drawing or something. It's like, all right, guys, we're going to have a subscriber play along. So you're just going to hop into a level and say, all right, I'm going to toss it to a random subscriber. Make sure you guys have your controllers ready, right? And maybe there's a way for them to verify if people can actually take control of the game or something.
I wonder if they're going to send them. I would assume they have to send them some kind of code, something through Mixer.
I'm sure there's something at some
like,
point.
hey, I'm going to pick
authenticate.
like username, and then type.
Right. And sends them an invite and you click on it or something.
I wonder if you could do, and this may be a stretch, like split screen co-op this way. Like I'm playing Cuphead. Who wants to help me beat this boss?
Ooh.
And then just like, hey, brrr, and like you're remote playing from not the same network, so it's already going to be sketch, but you have an extra life in Cuphead when you do it that way.
Yeah.
And so stuff like that, I wonder if they can log in and like, hey, I'm registered as player 2 as my, login.
I don't know. That's a good question. It would be interesting. I think it's a cool step in the right direction. I think it just gives streamers another option to interact with their fans and giving them a chance to jump in and play in a live stream. So like people that do really well on Mixer, maybe you've got a fan that's really good in their chat, and that maybe one of your mods or something be like, all right, you go and play, and then he's getting to play and kind of feel that love and feel that experience. So it's really cool. I don't know how much it would get used, but still very cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Other features in the update include support for 1440 video output on Xbox One S and X, a fresh and controller-friendly look for Microsoft Edge browser, which now lets you download and upload files and open tournaments, so you no longer are required to join a club. There's a section of your games library so you can see your redeemed games with gold titles, audio sliders to balance background music and game audio, and various improvements to the clubs. There's more on Microsoft's Xbox Wire blog.
Thing that stands out to me there is the new section of your games library with the games with gold titles.
Yeah.
It's frustratingly stupid to try and find games with gold. Like, it really is. Like, I'm an Xbox
every now and then,
subscriber.
like, you hop in to the store and you're like, oh, look, there's games with gold right there. Yeah. But every now and then it's not. And you're like, where? How do I get there?
It's not super. It's just
you gotta go like memberships and then click into it.
And then I get it. And then sometimes I can get there, and sometimes it just keeps taking me to stupid Game Pass because they didn't name things properly. Oh, Games Pass and games with gold. Games Pass with gold. Games gold pass. Pass gold games with. Like, I don't know what to click on. I hate you. You guys suck. So it's frustrating how to get to them. But it'd be cool to have a dedicated thing. I mean, PlayStation added that PlayStation Plus section a couple of years ago, I think, in their interface, which was pretty handy. So that'll be neat. Most of the time when I was interacting with PlayStation Plus, I was downloading them from my PC as they released. Yeah, so I would never interact with the store. Yeah, I mean, I know you can do that with games with gold too. It's, again, kind of clunky, not quite as obvious or easy to use.
Neither place has their online store nailed it.
At least like with PlayStation, the thing I can always count on is when I buy a game, once I get it to work, like I download it, and I hit download on my PS4, downloads every single time without question. No issues. Xbox seems like half the time when I tell it to install, and it'll pop up after I tell it to install, and be like, just so you know, we sent this to your Xbox, but it may or may not work until you turn on your Xbox. Like,
what's the point of the quick start mode
then? So like I've had it a couple times where like I grabbed the games with gold, and then a few hours later I turned on my Xbox and it's like starting download. I'm like, why isn't it done?
I wanted to play that.
That's the whole reason it's in standby mode, right? That's why it's not turned off. So I don't know. It seems like an easy thing.
Little thing.
I mean, PlayStation's had it for a long time, so I think Xbox would also have it.
Yeah.
Them's the breaks. We got good enough internet.
PlayStation are the ones that own Blu-ray and didn't put a Blu-ray player in the Pro. So.
Ugh.
They both have their faults.
Yes, no one is perfect. Nobody's nerfed.
Oh, but this mess is a place. Next up, last story of the day. 2018's Battlefield game will be set in World War II, a new Venture Beat report states.
Literally the worst kept secret of the last 3 months. Go on.
After being referred to by the name Battlefield 2 throughout development, an update to the above report states that it has recently been given the final name of Battlefield V or 5.
I'm going to go with
I'm going to say Battlefield 5, which works both as Battlefield 5 and as the call out to the famous V for Victory sign. So
that's right.
Little nugget. VentureBeat states this has been EA's plan all along: test the waters with a return to historical combat with World War I after doubling down in the more well-known setting of World War II.
It's weird because Battlefield 4 is modern. Battlefield 3 was modern. So Battlefield 5, let's go to World War II.
Maybe they do want it to be Battlefield V. I mean, that'd be really dumb.
It's dumb
because Battlefield 4 came out and then Battlefield 1 came out, making it the fourth Battlefield.
Battlefield 1 I'm annoyed at, but I get because World War I, Battlefield 1, they wanted that association. Fine, whatever. You had Battlefield Hardline, which was just stupid dumb. It was like just a skin.
It had cool elements,
but it was not worth a standalone. It was worth
the free game that it was when I got it.
Yeah, exactly. But Battlefield, I don't know. I'm sure the game will be great.
Oh yeah,
World War II, they're gonna do it. They're gonna knock it out of the park. Something I read a lot when I was looking at this. People want more they miss attachments for their guns, and I get that. Like, there's not a lot of, and historically accurate, you're not going to be adding a suppressor and a scope and a stabilizer and an extra grip and a bump stock. Like, none of those things are going to be happening in World War One, and you're probably not going to get that in World War Two. So it's like, okay, so is this going to be a reskin of Battlefield 1? Like, how much is it going to be different? A lot of people were already wanting to go back to modern. So I don't know. I was kind of looking forward to maybe modern stuff because Battlefield 1 was really good. They do have Call of Duty coming out, but I don't want to play Call of Duty anymore.
Yeah, but the next Call of Duty is going to be Black Ops.
That's true. It's going to be Black Ops 4, 15,
which is
16?
supposed to be present day.
Yes, supposed to be present day. But, the other rumor was Battlefield Bad Company 3, which would have been like Vietnam era. So it's not like that would be much better. Bad Company 2 was one of the better games that I've played.
That was such a great game.
Such a great game. So hilarious. Really good. But we're not getting that. They say maybe 2019 or 2020. And that's the next Battlefield title. But
yes,
for
this
now,
one's coming out in 2018. Then.
World War II, this is supposed to be later this year. We'll probably get announcements, in the next month or so. It's what they normally do. It's March. E3's in June. We'll probably hear this in April. We'll hear more on Spider-Man. We'll hear more on Days Gone soon. Like, all that stuff's coming.
Hope so.
Down the pipeline.
Because I've got money that I don't have that I need to spend on games.
I've got
games to buy.
I've got a credit card that needs to be emptied so I can buy these games. Mm-hmm.
I have to have them.
#finance.
Speaking of finances, thanks for watching the show. Supporting our show. Because we know you spend so much money on your YouTube subscriptions.
That's true. I always think about how much I spend on my subs.
Yep. Remember to comment below on what you thought on if you've played
Warhammer.
Warhammer. I was thinking of Warframe, and I was like, "That's
Warhammer." Originally started in like table games, like Dungeons and Dragons, like D&D type stuff. That's like that was the thing. So that's why it doesn't translate well to consoles and like modern gamers and such.
Yep.
So,
but let us know what you thought. Also, be sure to check out our new show over on Second Invite. We'll put a link in the description. It's a show called Boss Fight. It's shorter form, but it's a deeper dive into one topic as opposed to kind of a surface look at several topics.
Yep, not just talking about current news, but we're just talking about trending topics in the gaming world today, or rather Friday, whatever.
It'd be today when you see
the next
this
show we are doing is going to be on the different editions of games.
Yes.
It's getting
so when they come out, so like Platinum Edition,
Gold Edition, Day 1 Gold, Super Express Awesome Megaville Edition,
Walmart Edition,
Tank Edition, Not Having a Game Edition, all those kinds of things. So be sure to head on over to Second Invite and check that out. Remember, if you are listening to this on the podcast services, be sure to head on over, do a review on iTunes. Let us know what you think of the show, the better reviewed.
Even if you don't listen to it on iTunes.
That's true.
Like, head over there, give us a rating, give us a review. Yep. Helps out a lot.
Yep.
Really does.
Helps us out more than you would think. But I think that's all I got. What about you? You got anything else?
I don't think I have anything else. The ending is always the weakest part of this whole show, if I'm being honest.
I figure we might as well just keep up the trend.
As someone who does listen to the show, weirdly enough, I'm always at the end, I'm like, man, just shut up and end the show. Speaking of which, thanks for watching, guys.
Bye.